Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So today we're going to do a video talking about naming your DDO character, and this really can apply to naming your character in any kind of fantasy game. But I'm going to show you guys how I like to do it and some other ideas, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I think some mistakes are that other people have made, in my opinion. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know about my other YouTube channel. That's where I'm most active these days, on YouTube, and I do videos on a wide variety of topics, not just GDO, but all kinds of other topics, gaming and non-gaming. So if you want to check me out there, the YouTube channel is Axel Alexander. I'll put a link below in the description. There's also a link popping up now. So let's go ahead and get started on the topic. So as you might have noticed, I have a Word document open, and it's there for good reason. But before we start talking about that, I want to talk about some mistakes that I think people make. The one thing I see a lot in DDO, in my years in DDO, I've seen a lot of people who try to replicate, say, popular fantasy names like Drizzt. I think everyone's seen someone around the DDO world that's been named some variant of Drizzt, or maybe Bilbo or Gandalf or Legolas, or some Lord of the Rings, some other fantasy genre. Like they come up with a name based on another book. And I don't mean to like throw shots at you all who do that, but I'm not a fan of doing that. I think that in DDO, and really in any fantasy game, it's about role-playing, right? It's about you creating a character that represents maybe yourself, or maybe lets you play the role of someone who you are not. So it might be your anti-self. But either way, I think that the naming your character is really important, and I think that it should represent something along the lines of something creative, or something that means something to you. Now, I tend to use the name Axel, which I know is the same as the name I use on this channel. And by the way, it's not my real name. It is a nickname, and it has a special meaning to me. So because of that, I do use the name Axel. But when I made the name, of course, AXEL is not taken. Of course, it's taken on the servers, so I had to come up with an alternate spelling. So I think a lot of the times, one good tip is if you have a specific name you want to go by, and you want to play more the role of role-playing and pretending like your character is you, which is more the route I go when I play these types of games, is I like to pretend that I am my character, and I like to pretend that character represents me, my feelings, my attitudes, my moral beliefs, etc., etc. I like to play the game as if I'm in it. Now, if that's the case, you may want to use a nickname you have, or some kind of word or meaning that holds a special meaning to you, or something that represents who you are. For me, that's Axel, because it's a nickname I was given when I was a little kid, and it's stuck, and so it has special meaning to me. So I use that nickname in game to basically role play as myself in the game. Now, for a lot of people, you may want to choose a completely unrelated name, because unlike me, you may want to role play as someone who you are not. Maybe you're a nice guy in real life, but when you log into DDO, you want to be this evil dragonborn warlock, whatever. And I know you can't actually be evil. You can't actually be evil in DDO as far as alignment goes, but you can kind of pretend you are anyways when you role play. Just like you might when you played a pen and paper game. So I think for those people, a good, or really honestly, if you don't want, really for anyone honestly, but I think for those people especially, this is a good tip for you. And I want to show you the process that I like to use when I create fantasy character names just in any game. And this is the reason why I have the Word document open, as you were probably wondering. I know this is not like, has been not that exciting for you to look at as I talk, but this is why. Okay, so if you are trying to come up with a character name, go to a Word document, go to Excel document, something, and just start punching in just random letters. And what you want to do is you want to basically just do this, just randomly punch in any number of letters from 4 to 11 letters per line. And I didn't mean to type in numbers there, but do that until maybe just fill out one page just with random letters, or you could just do it until you start to see a pattern you like. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to brainstorm character names. So as I look through this random nonsense that I just typed in, I'm looking through the lines to see if there is anything that's kind of sticking out to me as something that would be a good start for a character name. So right now, what's really sticking out to me is this fourth line right here, which is XOIOE. I'm reading that, and the first thing that came to my mind was Zoe, and I didn't mean to color this blue, but whatever. Well, actually, we'll make this a little bigger so you can see it. Actually, we'll make it a lot bigger. So I found the word Zoe, or it looks like Zoe to me. So this is a good starting point. Obviously, the way it's spelled out right now, it does not look like a fantasy name, really. So we're going to change it around a little bit. Zoe. And there you go. There's your fantasy name. So essentially what I've done is I've just brainstormed, typed in random numbers and letters. I saw a random pattern that kind of stuck out to me as looking like a name, and then I made a small modification to make it a name. And that's what I think is the best process to go through if you're trying to just come up with a character name for your character. And you could do this for a number of lines. You could continue to make as many pages as you need. So here's another one. I see, let's make this bigger so you can see it. So I see this line here. This is Slaxiao. So I'm seeing that, and I immediately see the word slacks, which actually probably could be a name in and of itself. Just slacks. Maybe that sounds kind of like a goblin name to me, honestly. Or maybe a half-orc name. It sounds more goblin to me. So let's say I see the I there, I see the W, so maybe let's replace the E with an O. And there we go, we got a name, Slaxiao. Slaxiao. It sounds like kind of like a lizard folk or a goblin name to me. So guys, I wanted to just do this today to just show you the process that I go through. And so if you're having trouble coming up with a character name, maybe go through this process, because honestly, the best names in this game are the ones that you come up with yourself or have some kind of special meaning to you. So I'd encourage you to go through a process like this if you are having trouble coming up with a name, because I got the idea to do this video from a DDO.com forum post that someone posted that said, you know, I'm having trouble coming up with a character name. What do I do? Blah, 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 blah. So guys, this is a good process. I think this is the best process to come up with a character name, something like this. There are some other options. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can be like me and just use a word or a nickname that's meant a lot to you if you want to role play as yourself. The other and third option, I think, is there's a lot of fantasy name generators out there. If you just Google it, you can find one and you can type in a few words and it'll come up with a random list of names for you. It essentially does this process that I'm doing right here, but it'll do it automated. So if you want to do that, you can search for names that way. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know the videos haven't been too frequent for me lately, but I will stop in every once in a while to make videos on this channel. But as of right now, my main YouTube activity is on my other YouTube channel, Axel Alexander. Again, link in the description if you want to check that channel out. So guys, hope you enjoyed. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you went through some kind of process like this to come up with your character name, or if your character name has some special meaning to you. Just honestly, I would be really interested in just reading below. If you want to just make a comment and tell me how you came up with your character name or what it means to you, that would be really cool. Or maybe someone could make that as a forum post in the DDO.com forums. Maybe have everyone you know, give the story of their character name. I think that would probably be a pretty cool post. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, you have a good one. Take care.